Hello everyone, it's me Pavlo and I've got for you a cute daily dose of Ukrainian accent. We are going to talk about one of the most requested gadgets. It's Hidizs AP80 Pro Max, updated version of their popular player. For quite a long time they didn't change the external design, just varying internals and audio chips, and finally in the Pro Max they moved further, changing the design, and the player became pretty successful, and I've got a bunch of requests to make a review. Finally I have an opportunity to do it, so today we are going to take a closer look. It's a player based on two ESS 9219 chips. It's small, it's pretty affordable. Price is about $200. Currently on the official site it's sold with discount for 180. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, but it's non-Android player, so streaming services are a bit limited. Other than that, it's a really feature-packed player with great firmware, interesting sound, and many other good things. So let's have a closer look. Box is pretty nice, it's compact and has traditional for Hidizs black color, but polygraphy is nice, and as usual on the back side you'll get tons of information about technical specifications and what is waiting for you inside of the box. You open it and on top you have a player itself, and underneath you'll get a warranty card, the manual, and two USB cables, short USB Type-C to Type-C, and longer cable for charging, connecting as a DAC, and so on and so forth. No case available in the basic accessory set. But for $20 you can get extra leather case. Also they have a silicone case available on the site as a combo with player itself. In terms of design, player is absolutely great. Hidizs decided to step from their previous square-like designs of the older versions of AP80 towards a more vertically oriented rectangular design of the new version. And that gave player better feel in hand and overall better handling. Of course, it's more natural to hold it with left hand because your fingers just lying on hardware controls, but thanks to the compact size and lightweight, you can operate with right hand also really well, because you can hold it with just a few fingers and easily access whenever you need. So it's made mainly of metal. You can see that interesting shape for yourself. There are a few color versions available, and recently Hidizs released limited copper version, which also looks really nice. On the left side we have micro SD slot, on the bottom we have phone out and line out single-ended, and we have balanced out. Also here is USB Type-C with all features you can expect for the modern player, and it works as a DAC, it works as a digital transport, and so on and so forth. Despite the compact size, it has a pretty good battery life. From one charge you'll get about 9 hours from the balanced output, from 8 to 10 roughly speaking, and from 10 to 12 for the single-ended out. Of course it depends on gain and load, but really good work time overall. On the right side we have volume control. It's a nice stepped wheel with good clicks, with proper registration of the clicks, and of course it can be pressed to lock unlock screen. And 3 buttons for playback navigation, really nice and tactile. Also there is a LED indicator. Back side is covered with plastic, it gathers fingerprints, but they are pretty easy to wipe. On the front side you'll get pretty nice screen. So it's 640 by 360 with nice viewing angles. Colors are a bit on the greener side of things, but I think it's not a big issue for the affordable small player. It's pretty reliable when we talk about swipes and things like that. So also I like that bezels are pretty narrow. That of course improves overall feel of the device. In general, it's well built, nothing is shaking, nothing is rattling, so overall nice build quality. Firmware is made by Hibby, meaning that it's pretty well polished and feature rich. And let's start with the main menu. It consists of 6 items. First one is music library, and here you can see all tracks. You can browse by files, albums, artists, genres, and album artists. Also here you have search, favorites, and also bunch of different playback related settings. Most interesting of them are equalizer, parametric equalizer, and MSEB, and also a few additional options to tweak the sound to your liking. I won't be doing a deep dive here because we've seen this firmware many times before, and you know what to expect here. Streaming services are limited to Tidal and Qobuz, and they don't support offline mode, so only online when Wi-Fi is connected. In the wireless menu, you can access Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, also Hibby Link to control this device or other devices, import music via Wi-Fi, DLNA, and AirPlay streaming available. It has a book reader, not most useful feature in my opinion, but probably for someone it can be useful. And the system menu, lot of different settings, also won't be describing them all, but everything from sleep timers to firmware update are here. And the information about the device. Also, there is a drop-down menu with quick access buttons, screen brightness, and playback controls. And you can select which items will be in this menu in the settings. On the playing screen, you'll get album cover information and add to favorites, playback order, so everything as usual. Lyrics when they are available, and so on. In general, it's nice, good, well-working firmware, really streamlined and focused around music playback. Sound-wise, this player continue delivering Hidizs signature sound. They did a great job in combining typical for their products technicality and clarity with enough of musical representation and dynamics, so it doesn't sound too dry or too analytical, but still it's a player for those who prefer uncolored and true to the record type of sound. Of course, you can adjust sound in a pretty wide range using MSEB and equalizers, but here we'll talk about the stock sounding. Bass go to maximum depth, it's well controlled, it's really saturated with small details, and that gives a great texturing. The player doesn't add any weight, but what is present in the record will be delivered with good sense of presence, authority, and body. When necessary, it delivers nice slam and impact. When it's not necessary, bass stays calm and polite and well controlled. So, first example, it's Instant Crush by Daft Punk, and here you getting this punchy, engaging bass line, really saturated, but thanks to great control, you getting also really enjoyable contrast with mid frequencies. And Evening by Hugh, Laurie, really nice, bold bass here, and it delivers this bass with all nuances, but at the same time all other instruments also are not lost and stays present. Mid frequencies are uncolored, so player is pretty critical for the quality of records, because to get the maximum you'll need some well-recorded stuff. And with high quality records you'll get all nuances, you'll get all the details, emotions, nuances of the instruments, presence for the vocals, and good body and everything like that. When something is wrong with record, this player won't try to fix any issues. Luckily, you can actually adjust equalizer or MSEB to alter the sound, but by default, it's a player that trying to stay true to the source material. Imaginary stage is not huge, but above average in width and really impressive in depth. I don't know how they did that, but depth layering is really nice, with great sense of vocal moved forward for many tracks, and really nice layer separation in depth. And that's basically it. What is present in the record you'll get, with great dynamics and emotions when it's present in the recording. And first example for the mid frequencies, it's Metallica's Harvester of Sorrow, and it's a famous album for missing bass, but still you're getting all guitars, you're getting vocal, you're getting all that aggression with really good sense of clarity and separation. And Dogs by Pink Floyd, lot of three-dimensional effects, a lot of instruments, everything is well recorded, everything is well mastered, and everything is tuned to the perfection, and player delivers it pretty well. High frequencies are really well balanced, proper attacks and decays, great resolution, maybe not maximum, but definitely above average extension. So all that basic things are really well executed, but probably it's something to expect from the company with such experience as Hidizs. And also I like that player properly distributes energy in the treble areas. It's not too aggressive, not too forward, but at the same time not too laid back. And thanks to good technical performance overall for the high frequencies, you can adjust amount of treble and its presence with equalizer pretty easily without reduction in overall quality. Of course, layering is pretty basic, but it's something to expect for this price range. And the overtone saturation, and both basic and advanced, are on a really good level, so pretty enjoyable type of high frequencies. But Hidizs always were really good when it came to the treble area. And first example for the high frequencies, it's Sirens by Storace, and it's from the HD Tracks sampler. It's kind of classical hard rock almost, but with nice record quality, with good percussions, and this player delivers it with nice splash and energy. And of course, no good player with good high frequencies can go away without something by Sting. And Sister Moon is all about airness, nice saturated percussion, and all that nuances that it delivers really well. In terms of power, Hidizs made a great and really wise trade-off. They decided not to go towards power-hungry and high impedance models, and for the balanced output you're getting 190 milliwatts per channel, and for single-ended up to 70 milliwatts per channel. And that's more than enough for the vast majority of earphones, and even for the medium and sensitive full-size headphones. And that's mainly the load such small player is created for. And because it doesn't try to push tons of power, you're getting really nice battery lifetime for such a small device. You're getting great black background with sensitive earphones or virtually zero background noise, and enough of power to drive even medium sensitive full-size headphones without much problems. Of course, Hidizs created this player with their own earphones in mind, and for example, MP145 Pro is a great pairing with this player. They are fun and technical at the same time, and it delivers enough of control to drive them properly. But it will also work well with a lot of other companies' headphones and earphones if you want pretty uncolored and technical source. Speaking about the comparisons, probably the main competitor is Hibie R3. Its recent release, R3 2, if I remember correctly. I'm a bit mistaken with the numbering schema that Hibie offers. But they are pretty on par in terms of feature, offering slightly different designs and pretty different sound signature, where Hibie goes towards slightly more fun and weighty and warmer signature. Hidizs goes towards more technicality and resolution and transparency. So, if you want a compact player without Android with good technical but not dry sound, AP80 Pro Max is a great choice. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course, have a nice day.